West Ham United 2, Liverpool 2. If you'd have told me to take a draw before the game started, I would have taken that. Great start from West Ham. Look, the lineup. Areola was back, which we expected. The only player that I didn't pick was I thought Mavropanos would be back, but he's still injured. So Ogbonna was back in the team. Usual suspects: Areola in goal, Soufal, Zuma, Ogbonna and Emerson at the back, with Souček and Alvarez in the middle. Bowen, Paqueta, Kudus out on the left, and Antonio up front. I guess that's the best of what we've got available at the moment. Ward-Prowse was dropped to the bench, but I think we started off okay. Got our goal, but I just felt that even though we got a goal, I didn't think that we were going to hold on to the lead. And as usual, yet again, just before half-time, we concede a goal. And just after half-time, we concede a goal. And I have to be honest, I thought that was going to be it. I thought, we were going to end up losing this game. The frustration is that we keep backing off. Whenever you saw Liverpool, whenever we got the ball, you saw Liverpool players, surrounding the players that we had, not giving us any time on the ball. Kudus, the minute Kudus got the ball, he had 2, 3, 4 players around him, anyone. But whenever they had the ball, we backed off, and that's why I wasn't that confident that we'd get a win. But a draw, I think, I'd take it, I guess, given how we've been performing, especially after the performance against Crystal Palace last weekend, where we were trounced. So a better performance in that respect. But who played well? Paqueta wasn't in the game at all. We hardly saw him on the ball. I think Bowen coming back, was a massive boost for us. We tick with Bowen. Without him, we just seem like a very different team. It's ironic that during the season when Paqueta was out, everyone was saying that, because Paqueta's out, we're not ticking. But we realise it's more because Bowen. Whenever Bowen is back in the team, we look like a very, very different team. And it was good to see him back. I think he made us tick. What a great goal. Great header that he got to put us in the lead. But just like West Ham, we just can't hold on to our lead, which is a shame. I'm trying to think if we had a player that really stood out today. Potentially Alvarez, yet again. Without him in the centre of the park, again, we just seem a little bit sort of lacklustre. And he's just all over the pitch. In the first half, in the second half, he just doesn't stop running. He doesn't stop getting himself involved. And thank goodness for him, because and thank goodness that we hear that he's going to stay another season, because without him, our central midfield would be very, very weak. Look, we held on until half-time, 1-0. We took that. It was fairly evenish, to be quite honest with you. But in the second half, I kind of feared, we saw it in the first couple of minutes, we were backing off, and it didn't take long for Liverpool to get back into the game. Really, really soft goal, because we just allowed them a lot of space, a lot of time. And then, the own goal, I think it came off Ogbonna to put them 2-1 up. And I must admit, at that point, I didn't think we were going to get anything in this game after they went 2-1 up. But fair play to West Ham. Moyes made a change on 74, 75 minutes, where Souček came off and Ward-Prowse came on, and Ward-Prowse made us tick a little bit more. His passing was a lot better. Our passing and movement started to be a lot better. We started to get at Liverpool a bit more, and we got the goal that we deserved. Antonio, who I've got to be honest, has been superb since he's come back from injury, got us back in it, and I think in the end 2-2 was a draw, was probably a fair result. But if I'm going to be frustrated, it's because we allowed Liverpool to move forward. Every time we got the ball, they were crowding us out, getting the ball back, pushing us into making mistakes. Every time Liverpool got the ball, we backed off, hence them getting the 2 goals and getting further forward. But fair play to us. We got back in it. We managed to get a draw, and I think it was a fair result at the end of the day. So we move on. Will 1 point be enough to try and keep our European dreams alive? Probably not, to be honest with you. But at least we didn't lose. Now we go next week, we've got Chelsea coming up away, then we've got Luton at home, and then of course Man City. It's going to be too much of a tall order. I'm not expecting us to finish in a European place this season, but at least we've gone out today and we've got ourselves a decent result, a decent draw. It could have been a lot worse. Man of the match for me, Alvarez. Areola, great to see him back in goal, but obviously, again, he's now got a problem because he couldn't kick the ball. He had to throw the ball out. So it looks like we might end up losing him again for the next game against Chelsea, which is a shame because yet again, Areola pulled off some great saves to keep us in the game. He's decent, Areola. I worry with the greatest of respect to Fabianski, especially with the mistake Fabianski made in the first goal against Crystal Palace last week. It worries me when Areola's out. But let's hope. We've got a whole week. That's the good thing now. We've got a full week before the next game to try and get him fit again. The right side of our defence, I love Soufal, but we know we need a better right back because anyone that's got any pace on the left hand side is going to have a field day against Soufal, and I'm afraid to say Luis Diaz, he had him on toast most of the game, to be quite honest with you. So we know we need a new right back. We know we need more defensive backup because Ogbonna, as much as I love him, it's also finished. Emerson had an all right game, but you need a decent backup for Emerson. But also, you need more players. When you look at the bench and you sort of think, well, what can we do to who can we bring on? And we've only really got Cornet, Mbama, and we don't have a lot. And Danny Ings, we don't have a lot that's going to really frighten the opposition, unfortunately. So we've got a big job to do in the summer, whether we're in Europe or not. There's news today that apparently Paulo Fonseca is now the lead favourite to take over the job from David Moyes. Lopetegui, whatever you pronounce it, apparently he's been approached by AC Milan and he wanted a team that's in Europe, so he's out of the running now. And it looks like it could be Fonseca if there isn't another candidate that might compete against him. But whoever it's going to be, we need a rebuild. We need to rebuild from the. For me, we need a couple of defenders. We need a decent backup goalkeeper. We need a left-sided attacking player, and we need another striker. And that's allowing Paqueta to go. Anyway, 2-2. West Ham United. Good to get back in it. At least we didn't lose. I take the draw, and we move on to next week's game against Chelsea.